first takeaway is the Gattis gang, baby. I am feeling good about Josh Gattis. This could honestly be the best back-to-back performance from a Michigan football offense, Michigan football passing game at least, in victories. There's been plenty of games, where guys have thrown for 400 yards in losses coming back, but these are two back-to-back dominations. You see the first half stats against Indiana today: 21 points, 232 yards, 176 passing yards, one of Shea Patterson's better games. It's really been the first half at least. The first half against Middle Tennessee State, the first half against Michigan State, the first half against this game. 3 games, the passing game came out clicking. Let's take a look at the offense for the entire game. 39 points. Okay, cool. On the road, though, where Jim Harbaugh has not been spectacular as Michigan's coach, so I don't take that for granted at all. This is a 7-4 Indiana team that was in the top 30, 35 in most major categories throughout the football season so far. So 39 points, 453 yards of offense, 366 yards passing. Shea Patterson, the first Michigan quarterback to throw back-to-back 4 touchdown games in program history. Back-to-back game over 350 yards. What a performance by Shea. What a performance by the Michigan football offense today. So the Gattis gang, baby. I know some of you guys will say, James, you were trashing Gattis early in the year, and that's true, but he has made a big-time comeback when it comes to his ability to put this Michigan offense where it needs to be and his ability to prove that he is what a lot of us expected before the year. So the Michigan football offense dominates against Indiana today, and I am just excited to get into Ohio State week. And folks, if you want to make some money in this next coming week, what you need to do is head over to BetDSI right now, screenshot this, and go after the show if you want to. If you want to stick with us, use promo code GOBLUE. Chatsports.com/bet is the redirect to go to BetDSI. Put some money on Michigan next week. Put some money on Michigan next week against Ohio State, because I don't think that this Ohio State team, they ain't so bad. They ain't so bad, like Rocky used to say. I think Michigan's gonna cover the spread for sure. I think you should bet on them with BetDSI. Get 120% deposit bonus with our partners, BetDSI. It's where I place all my bets. Recommend that you do the same. Let's go to our number 2 takeaway from this game. And by the way, use hashtag Michigan. We'll get you guys a question coming up after our 5 takeaways. Passing game is on fire. The passing game is on fire. If we want to show some of these graphics, Dylan, we got a lot of graphics coming for you guys regarding the passing game. We've got Shea's first drive. We've got Shea's 2-game history. Dylan's going to throw them up there behind the camera. Let's take a look at the first drive for Mr. Shea Patterson, Michigan's quarterback, Michigan's senior quarterback, and what a first drive it was for him. 7 of 7, 79 yards, and a touchdown to get the Michigan football offense started. Had to, have them come back because they were already down 7-0 before the Wolverines got the ball in their hands. So Shea Patterson, 7 of 7. How about his first half stats? 13 of 18, folks. Nice game from Shea Patterson in the first half against Indiana. 176, as we mentioned just briefly before. 3 touchdowns in the first half. He would wind up with 5 touchdowns for the game for Shea Patterson. So big time performance of him. 366 yards for Shea Patterson. The second game in a row with 300 yards after going, 22 or 21 straight games as Michigan's quarterback. Was it 13 last year? 9, 22 games without having a 300-yard game at Michigan. Now he's got back-to-back 300-yard games as Michigan's quarterback. So I am happy with the performance of Shea Patterson. But look at this, folks. This is one of the ones I'm going to screenshot afterwards, put all over my social media, all over the Chat Sports social media. Last 2 games, 44 of 65, 750 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, and 1 pick. They don't call Dylan behind the camera the best graphics guy in the game for nothing, because while all the blog boys are putting together the shitty articles right now, you guys are with us on the Michigan Football Report, and Dylan is creating awesome graphics like that. So I want to ask you guys, if you're happy with the quarterback performance, if you're happy with Josh Gattis' performance, type Shea in the comments, just like I'm doing right now. Shea, putting in there on YouTube. I'm going to get over to the Facebook live program and type Shea in there as well. So I am happy with what Shea Patterson did today. I think you guys got to be happy with the performance from Shea Patterson in this ball game. So type Shea if you think if you're happy with what Shea Patterson did. And folks, I'll tell you what, this offense really struggled for the first 6 games of the year. And I wish they could do that Penn State game over. I wish they could do that Wisconsin game over, but they can't. So Michigan could play to not spoil Ohio State's season, because frankly, for Ohio State, this game really doesn't matter for them, but it'll matter a lot to Michigan. But type Shea in the comment section. Let's go to our third takeaway from this ball game in Bloomington, Indiana, where the weather got a little dicey in the second half there. The D dominates after the first quarter. This is a struggle. This was a tight game in the middle of the second quarter. Michigan jumped ahead, but let's take a look at the first half offense from Indiana. 14 points, 158 yards. They were doing some things through the air, and there was, I wrote this stat down. I'm going to pull it up because I was typing it in as I was coming into the studio. Make sure I had this one. Interesting. 113 yards for, I've got my iPhone notes, folks. You should see the notes in this phone every game. It's absurd. 113 yards in the first quarter, 45 yards in the second quarter. So after that first quarter, Michigan's defense clamped down. These are the stats here for Indiana's offense for the entire game against Michigan. They end up with 14 points, 321 yards, 224 yards passing, 97 yards rushing. And so what that really means, Michigan shut them out in the second half, right? So that's a good sign, and really shut them down the final 3 quarters of the game. They were without their best wide receiver, so Michigan really took advantage of that in a lot of ways. Whop Philor is the man's name, not a name that rolls off the tongue by any means. He's got 61 catches, 863 yards, only 3 touchdowns, but Indiana really spreads the wealth with their touchdowns throughout the game. So he did not play today. Peyton Ramsey's stats for Michigan, their quarterback, started in 2017, started in 2018, lost his starting spot to a redshirt freshman quarterback who got hurt a few games ago. He went 17 of 29, 217, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. How about Stevie Scott III? He came out of the game for a little while with an injury, 13 carries, 54 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, and a touchdown. And then Peyton Henderson got in there, got some relief work, 6 carries, 62 yards, 10.3 yards per rush. That long of 24 really bolstering his stats in that regard. So outside of that one, 5 carries for 30 some odd yards. So Michigan dominates this game. They win 39-14. Their 24th straight versus Indiana Hoosiers. Now have matched Ohio State, both now with 24 straight victories against Indiana, due Ohio State and the Michigan Wolverines football program. If you haven't watched the show before, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. The Michigan Football Report has daily videos throughout the 2019 season. We are the first to break rumors, and we're always bringing you the latest Michigan football news and rumors. And like you're seeing now, we've got live chats and audience Q&A coming up. Use hashtag Michigan to get your questions answered live on show. That's the benefits of the Michigan Football Report. We ask you to subscribe on YouTube, where the bulk of our content goes, youtube.com/Michigan TV if you're watching right now. On Facebook, if you're already on YouTube, hit that big red subscribe button. Support the show. Make sure we can do shows throughout the entire 2019 offseason into the 2020 season. All right, number 4. Hello, Daxton Hill. They were going after him a little bit in the first quarter, for sure. He had a couple catches caught on him in that first drive, but he gets the big interception. Leads, I think, what he ended up leading Michigan in tackles. I'm going to look at the stats here on the defensive side for Michigan. So Dax Hill, 8 tackles, all of them solo, and he led the team plus the interception. So I really liked what I saw out of Daxton Hill today. I thought that with Brad Hawkins, if you saw, obviously, they didn't really talk about it during the game, but Brad Hawkins did not play. The report is he's banged up. That's probably true. Could not be. Doesn't really matter. Dax Hill, I didn't think it really mattered whether or not Brad Hawkins played, but you can toss those over there, Dylan. We don't need the photo for that. Let's take a look at Dax Hill's stats. I didn't think it mattered if Brad Hawkins played this week, because I thought Michigan would win without him. With him, it didn't matter. But I really think Brad Hawkins needs to be back next week, because if he's not back next week, Michigan will surely have some potential struggles with the Ohio State offense. They have a lot more receivers, certainly a lot more depth than Indiana have. So you're going to need him next week without a question. So Dax Hill played great, led Michigan in tackles. He was all over the place, especially early on, and got that interception. That really was a key turning point in today's game. And Santa Jimmy is back. Santa Yoder is here for you. I want to make sure you guys get hooked up during the football season. Dylan, while we're in there, toss those in the comments section if you can. A couple of those links Producer Dylan will take a moment, toss the links to get this jacket, Michigan football jacket, our holiday sale. This is just hooking you guys up, making sure you can get the best gift prices throughout the year. Chatsports.com/blue1, 50% off this jacket. It's only like $35 or $32.50 like it says there. You get the Michigan football t-shirt, only $15, the big Block M t-shirt. Chatsports.com/blue3. And then are we going to the full one after this, Dylan, or are we sticking with this? Okay, there you go. And then all Michigan gear that is 50% off or more. You can go to chatsports.com/blue. Hook your lady up with this awesome fleece Michigan football Block M hoodie for Christmas. So those are our deals. You can see them in the comments section. After the show, I'll put them in the comments for the video and all the videos that come throughout the rest of this week. So you get the best prices going into the holiday season for the loved ones in your family surrounding Michigan football. All right, what else we got coming up here next? Dylan behind the camera. He's our man today, hooking us up with these awesome Michigan football deals. We've gone through our first 4 takeaways from the game. Now we've got our 5th takeaways, and this is really the most important one. Must beat Ohio State. And I'm going to channel my inner Rocky here. I'm going to type in the comments here, type beat OSU in the comments, okay? Just type it if you guys want to beat OSU. Type it in the comments. I want to beat OSU. You want to beat Ohio State. I watched that whole damn game today. They're not so tough, okay? They're not so tough. And Jim Harbaugh's played them close. 2 of his 4 years, really. 2016, 2017. I'm not going to make any excuses for the first year. I'm not going to make any excuses for last year. They should have won that game. They should have won in 16. And 17 with what could be called their third-string quarterback, John O'Corn. Michigan was marching down the field. It was a down 4 points with 5-6 minutes left in the game. And John O'Corn just made a bad pass and overthrew Chris Evans, who could have went 40 yards for the touchdown. He was wide open. He overthrew him. But you're going against a juggernaut. Before today's game, these are the stats they were putting up. Some of the best stats in the country on offense. Some could say combining offense and defense, this is the best team in the country by a long shot. I think if they beat Michigan by 3 touchdowns next week, this could be considered the best team, regular season team, in Big Ten history. Let's take a look at the Ohio State defense. The team that's beat Michigan 7 straight years under Urban Meyer. 216 yards per game. I was talking trash with my man Philly down in Orlando today. He's an Ohio State fan. And I said, he's like, how is Ohio State's defense so terrible last year and so good this year? I'm like, Harbaugh taught Greg Madison, your D coordinator, everything he knows, Michigan's former D-line coach, and Michigan's going to know how to beat this Ohio State defense. But Don Brown better come to play next week because he is the only defensive coordinator in the history of Michigan football to give up 30 points in 3 straight years against Ohio State. And I think most people will be happy if they give up just 30 this game because I don't think anybody expects Michigan to give up less than 30 points against Ohio State. You're going to have to win a 42-39. You're going to have to win a 45-41 game. And with what we saw out of this offense, I am feeling pretty good. We've got our Q&A coming up here in a moment. But before we get there, I just want to get you guys' predictions. Predict the score in the comments. I'm going to predict my score right here, Dylan. I'm going to put it right here. Michigan. Right there. All right, man. Typo, Dylan. What did I do here? There's my score prediction in the YouTube comments. I'm going to toss it over on Facebook right now. Michigan 100, Ohio State 3. Spot the lie. Spot the lie, Dylan. Where is the lie? Oh, man, I didn't even type the right thing in there. Oh, in Facebook, I messed it up. But nevertheless, Michigan 100, Ohio State 3 is my prediction after what I saw today out of Shea Patterson, Josh Gattis, and the Michigan football offense.